Okay, we've got a quick one today. It's the NHL Draft recap for the Colorado Avalanche. This year they had a few picks, so let's take a quick look at exactly who these guys are. At 77th overall, they drafted Franchesco Delche. This is a guy who's been undrafted twice, and I wasn't particularly surprised to see that happen. I just feel like for his style of play, the road to get to an NHL gig is just really steep, but he did have a really good freshman year in college this year. He's on a team that really seems to value his style of play at UMass. He's a pretty skill and offensive forward defenseman. He's more of this shoot first, ask questions later style of defender with some pretty good footwork as well. I always felt that he could be a solid college defenseman, and now that he is one of those things and had a pretty good year, it's a similar argument, I think, to what Carolina used on a Charlie Serrato, where if you had drafted a Delche 2 years ago and 2 years in he had a banger of a season like he did this year, he's right there with some other guys that had been drafted already, so you may as well pick him. I didn't really see a whole lot of NHL quality out of Delche when checking him out since the draft, but there are really good offensive tools here, and for a top 100 pick, it resonates with what Colorado's trying to be, and I see where they're coming from. At 118th, they drafted Lenus Funk. Now, Funk is a player that I've seen a lot this year. Big, but really rangy, and really solid in terms of keeping the game safe and predictable, possession-focused, simple passing, but there is some good deception in his game. He was a player that flirted with my list over the course of the season. There aren't really that many offensive tools, I think, in his game in terms of projectability to the NHL, but he keeps his game simple, he keeps his game projectable, and maybe there's something here if you give him a few years in Sweden. He has the style of play that I think could eat some minutes at higher levels of hockey in Sweden, if not next year, then relatively quickly, so we'll see where it goes with Funk, but this was a guy that just didn't quite land on my list. And at 214th, they took a swing on Nolan Road, who is a 2005 guy, late birthday, so undrafted once, and on his second go-around in the NHL Draft, he went and had a point-per-game season in the USHL, and I kind of like what is going on in his game. Now, I think that he is a player that you have to keep in mind will be 20 years old in the fall, because he is more developed in terms of puck protection and skill level relative to the USHL level of competition that I think sets him apart. Next year, he could be a very capable college forward. He's a guy that I think is comfortable under pressure. I saw him moving pucks through a couple of layers of defenders pretty confidently, and that is something that I look for and is really tough to do at a high level for a young player. It's not just about beating one player one-on-one, it can often be about beating 3 players in a couple of moves, and he's a player that I saw really pull something like that out of his hat, and that's kind of cool. He's not just this big, lumbering guy of guys. He is a player that brings some skill, he's not small, and I think he does bring some good confidence and possession ability that I think could bode well. Do I think he's an NHL player? No, but I think that there could be something here, maybe with enough time. And with that, the Colorado Avalanche are going to get a 3A. I think all around, they probably just played this draft really safe because Delche and Road are re-entries, but they're both good, skilled offensive players that I think bring some good ability to the game, and Colorado does seem to like to draft these more high-ceiling, skill-first players and develop the rest as time goes on, and I have a lot of respect for that strategy. I don't think any of these players have really, really high NHL level upside, but Delche could be a pretty decent pickup. With time, you might have a good shot-first offensive defender down your lineup. With Lenus Funk, though, there might be an NHLer here one day just as a bottom pair, safe, dependable guy who is definitely a capable skater and brings a lot of decent stuff to the game while not being mind-blowingly good. And Nolan Road was a pleasant surprise when I went and looked at him in isolation after the draft. I think a good college player is reasonable to see in Nolan Road's future, but the NHL, it's probably a couple of steps away. Good seasons in the AHL take some time because, again, he does play that sort of skill-first style of play that is tough to do in the NHL. And with that, we're going to call it. If you liked the video, definitely like and subscribe. If you really liked it, definitely consider a subscription over at Scouching.ca, where you can get access to all kinds of fun data tools and our Discord server and plenty of other fun stuff that you're just not going to find anywhere else on the internet. So check that out at Scouching.ca. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.